So, welcome back. This is our day 3 draft analysis. We just finished rounds 5 and 6. Some big, shocking picks, some very disappointing picks, um, some reaches, some breaking of the ice for different things in this one. We'll begin with round 5. First pick, Luis. He chose Cable last round, ending the last round. Comes back with round 5, chooses Booster Gold.
I mean, you had back-to-back chances there to kind of even out your team a little bit more, get some more powerhouses in there, and Cable shouldn't be on there at all. And as anyone who's worked with Booster Gold will tell you, they don't want him on their team.
Yeah, that was a shock to me. I don't even know what to say. I would rank it an F.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's not a great choice. I think especially like you said.
I love Booster Gold.
I have a soft spot in my heart for him too. You know, I love DC. I love Booster Gold. I think Jeff Johns has done some beautiful work with that character. But I think even he would say if you have 64 choices, that's not necessarily one of them. You know, like it's a small group of characters. You have to pick wisely, and I don't know that was a wise choice.
Followed that up. Jason followed that up. John Constantine, Hellblazer himself.
Not necessarily the magic character I would have gone with, but you did have a couple prominent ones that were already taken off the board.
You have a lot still of great ones on the board, though.
That is true. Like I said,
Zatanna still out there.
I would taken her ahead of him solely just because of, as anyone who has met John Constantine will tell you, again, not really a team player and absolutely will in the end inevitably disappoint you and look out for his own best interests rather than others. Sometimes he will surprise you and will do that, but he's not necessarily a guy that you assume is going to fall on a sword for you, no matter what the crisis. But I think a magic character was needed, but I don't know if that's the one that I would have chose.
Well, then we have, I think Balmori was spooked by that one, so he went in his own direction with another mystic. He went with Ghost Rider.
Again, I think to me, despite being that, I still, for me, especially when it's not, just Ghost Rider, not Cosmic Ghost Rider, but to me, Ghost Rider still feels like a street level character. I know that he does obviously have his deal with the devil and there are other things going on, but to me, he shows up, with his chain and his crossbow, and he goes to find some drug lord or some guy and drags him. He doesn't come in when the aliens are breaking through the border or thing like that. And I think,
Well, what if Mephisto shows up, though?
Yeah, like I said, it's not
What if Neron shows
necessarily
up?
a horrible pick, but what if they don't? Is what I'm saying. Again, especially with right now.
I think you need a team that's balanced for all threats, not just alien invasion.
I know, but I think with your only cosmic character,
I like the pick of Ghost Rider over John Constantine, honestly.
I would say that. And again, like I said, it does balance out his team a little bit. I don't know if it goes far enough to help even that out, but he still has some picks left, so we'll see what he does.
Andrew follows it up with his cosmic choice, Beta Ray Bill.
Andrew, again, is doing really well with this draft. I think he's got a very even
game plan.
He definitely seems like he'd spent a lot of time on this, or maybe the dice have just rolled well for him and he's lucked out that people haven't taken these things. But again, I think he's taking people at the right time and choosing characters that are really evening out a very powerful and very put together team.
Yeah, I like his choices. He's trying to think. I think he's thinking about all different problems that might arise for a team. Excellent choice. Steve follows it up with Invisible Woman Sue Storm. I know you stated earlier that you feel like you feel that there are other choices out there that would be better suited.
Well, I think especially, if we're looking at Steve's team right now, I think he needed something to even out, but I don't think Sue Storm was it. I think he had a lot of punch-em-up characters, which you definitely need a couple. He had some very powerful ones, but
she does offer defense, where all the rest of them offer more of an offensive.
She does, but again, I think you have a lot of other characters that could have filled that spot and added offense as well. I think in a lot of ways, I think Sue Storm is more of a liability than somebody who's necessarily going to add to your team. But it seems like he's definitely loving him some original Marvel characters, and he's rolling with
Yeah,
that.
he hasn't chosen a single DC character, has he?
No, not yet. And pretty much all like 60s, like original Marvel's characters, yeah.
Tyler follows it up with one of the more fun DC movie characters, Shazam.
Yeah, I think, again, I don't think this is a bad choice. I think definitely has the power there. Definitely, speed of Hermes. All he's definitely got a big amalgam of different powers with all of those 7 characters that he's bestowed with. I think it's a good choice. I think I'd say at round 5 that's pretty properly rated. You could argue round 6, but I don't think that's a bad spot to take that character.
Yeah, I think it's a good choice. I think you get a Superman type character who has some other abilities as well.
You have magic in there, which he has yet to have a magic user on his team, so
doesn't have the vulnerability to kryptonite or magic.
Correct. He's Superman with some perks.
Yes. Jake followed that with Heimdall.
Who?
That may have been somebody else's reaction during the draft as well.
I'm kidding. I know who Heimdall is. Yeah, I don't know. Again, I think if you have 64 choices, I don't know that that's one of the 64. I think there are other characters that definitely could have helped and added to his team. Again, not that Heimdall doesn't have his own thing, not that he's not powerful, but there are definitely more powerful and more, I would say, useful characters overall. But
well, I mean, I've told you before, like Weapon H, I know he's not a popular character, but he definitely is a powerhouse. I keep harping on it. Karnak, who can see the weaknesses of different enemies.
I think you have to detach yourself from your picks, and you have to just say, okay, here's what I have so far. What do I not have? What do I need? What's going to make my team be able to stop whatever threat's coming through that door? And I don't know that this is a character that is going to add to that.
Yeah. So then we have Kermit at the end of round 5. Pick number 40, Martian Manhunter. I like this pick a lot. A team player. He's been on a team for 50-some years at this point.
Absolutely. Has led the team at multiple different times. I think, to me, this might be the best pick Kermit's had so far in the draft. I think this is a really good choice. I think, along with Supergirl, I think really helps lift his team a little bit from that street level, group that he has.
He has a cosmic character in it as well.
Yes.
Kind of like Superman. However, his weakness is fire, which is kind of a big thing,
But in a lot of different ways, he's also been able to curb that weakness in a lot of different iterations. So it is a weakness, but again, John Jones has powered through that before. And definitely, like I said, if he can't even be in the room, super powerful, but also very strategic, very great game planner, very good team leader.
Good spy. I mean, he can turn into whoever he wants. And
absolutely. I think he's definitely a good choice to have. To me, I think he
can fill that street level character.
This is a really good bang for your buck in round 5.
Yeah, I think it was an excellent choice. Coming back with round 6, Kermit goes back to his favorites, however.
I think did really great, and then followed up with not so really great.
He picked Cassandra Cain, Batgirl, with pick number 1 in the 6th round.
Yeah, again, if you're in that cushiony spot where you can go back to back.
Well, you already had Nightwing, so you already had the...
Right, again, like I said, if you already have Nightwing, if you already have these types of characters, to me, you don't need her. It's not helping your team at all. Obviously, I love Cass. I think she's a cool character, but you already have Nightwing. You already have X-23, which some would say is, more powerful in the vein of that. I just don't see what this adds to his team. To me, she takes the spot of somebody else he needed on his team to catch up to others.
That is one thing I do like about Kermit's picks, though. They are well balanced in terms of gender. He definitely didn't just go with all male characters.
Yeah, absolutely. Some good choices there. And like I said, I think Supergirl was a good choice. I think she definitely helped his team. I think, Martian Manhunter.
Kermit clearly had fun with the draft.
Yes, I think he did. But like I said, I just think, I don't know that this helps. I don't know that this adds to the team. As much as fun of a character she is, I don't know that it adds to the team.
I got you. So pick number 2. Shocker of all shocks. We had no doubt who this character would go to. But the fact that it went in the 6th round,
I got to give it to Jake for having the fortitude to not pull the trigger on that one and wait for that to drop and be patient.
In case you don't know who we're talking about, Jake with Venom in round number 6.
Yeah, like I said, I got to give it to him. That's hard when there's a character that you love that much and you're heart of hearts and you definitely want to have on your team, and as a powerful character for sure. I think he did great. I think in round 6, I think that's a really good spot for him. I think that's probably where you should grab Venom in a 64-person draft or character draft. I think that shows a lot of restraint on him that not everybody, I think, even in this draft, has shown so far. So I got to give him props.
The
for that.
11-year-old showed more patience than
Yes, I got to give him props for that.
than Balmori.
Yes. I wasn't gonna name names, but yes.
And then with pick number 3 of round 6, Tyler breaks the ice for headquarters. We did have the restriction that you had to choose at least one headquarter for your team. Tyler goes with the Baxter Building. Would that have been your first headquarters? Would you have chosen a headquarters this early in the?
I would not have chosen the headquarters at round 6.
Just the kicker.
To me, it's the kicker of the defense, but probably the kicker. I think to me that's around 7 or around 8, because at the end of the day, even if it's not necessarily the headquarters you want, there are more than 7 solid headquarter choices that you could choose from. So even if somebody does grab your number 1, it's a big universe in both Marvel, DC, and Independence. You could have chosen a lot of places. I think to choose it at round 6 is going way too early.
I would have picked the X Mansion as my headquarters just because of the training facility within it and like everything that comes with the X Mansion.
Yeah, absolutely.
Baxter Building, I feel like doesn't have. I mean, if you want to go into like the extra dimensional stuff, well, wherever Reed Richards goes, he can make that stuff.
Right. I don't think that that's like the number 1 kicker overall. That's not the number 1 headquarters overall, and I do think that round 6 was a little early to try to make sure the Baxter Building was still available. I don't think that was necessarily the best headquarters that you could have gotten from. I think to jump the gun a little bit.
It's a fine headquarters. I would probably give it a D at this pick though, just because I think
not
it's
in
early.
round 6. Yeah.
So then Steve was like, "Oh, you took the Baxter Building? I'm taking Mr. Fantastic."
I think Mr. Fantastic is a really good choice. I think that I'm surprised that it dropped to round 6. I think that's a steal in round 6.
Steve gets his leader / intelligent person on his team.
Yes, absolutely, very intelligent. Somebody who's a team leader. I think it's somebody that he needed to have on his team right now. I think this helps make up a little bit for, I think, a little bit of a misstep in his wife in Sue Storm, but I think that
keeping the family together, though.
I think Reed Richards is a really good choice. Like I said, I think it's a steal in the middle of the 6th round. I think he brings a lot to the table.
So, following that up, the person with the most consistent draft so far, Andrew chooses a character I think most people would not have considered, most people would not have even thought of. Maybe he could have taken him in 8th round. He probably could have. He probably would have still been on the board. Forge taken off the board.
I think it's a good pick. I think, like you said, I think he maybe could have waited. We are getting to the bottom now, though, and like I said, it seemed like he had a game plan and he knew what he wanted to do, and he definitely went through and chose, not necessarily his favorite characters, not necessarily, somebody that I love in my heart of hearts and I want to have on my team. He said, okay, what's going to give me the best well-rounded overall team, and I think so far he's executed that pretty perfectly.
So think about this. You have the wealth of Black Panther. You have the intelligence of Black Panther. You have the vibranium of Black Panther. And now you have Forge. You can put all that together into whatever kind of invention he needs for the situation. Seems like a pretty good combo right there.
Yeah, they're pairing off of each other. Like he's playing chess while some people are playing checkers. For sure.
An excellent choice. I would give that an A, even though I think he could have let it slide a round or two.
Yeah, I mean, I would if I was being harsh, I could say A-, B+, because again, I think he could have gotten it later, but again, we are getting towards the bottom, and it seems like he knew what he wanted.
Balmori chose Batman in round 1, followed Tyler's lead in round 6, which I think was a mistake. Chose the Batcave in round 6.
I think again you have a case of there's something you want, and after I think
he got spooked
he got spooked by the Baxter Building, and he didn't want somebody to grab the Batcave, and so he took it. Again, not a horrible headquarters like by any means. Obviously, there's a lot there, for preparation and training, things like that. Alfred, hopefully, depending on which time of day you're there, which version you are. Not right now, but. Again, I don't think a headquarters should have been taken in round 6. I think he definitely got spooked by Baxter Building, and so he went with it. I understand why he'd want it. It's definitely on my top couple for headquarter choices, so I can understand why it would go. But I think round 6 was still too early.
So then Jason followed it up with Hank Pym, another intelligent choice, intelligent character choice, Ant-Man.
Well, I think as long as, his wife doesn't upset him, then you're in a pretty good spot. Yeah, again, I think Hank Pym at round 6 is pretty solid. I think you maybe even could have got him at round 7, but, it's a little later in the draft. I don't think it's a bad choice by any means.
Yeah. I don't know. Like you said, I would have maybe let him slide one more round, but not a terrible choice, but like you said, I would have let him slide one more. Luis continuing his
Descent into madness.
picking names out of a hat draft philosophy. Chose Valeria Richards with the 8th pick of the 6th round.
Yeah, I don't have a lot to say. I think at this point, it's like...
So Steve kept the husband and wife together, and...
Luis scooped the kids.
Luis scooped the kids.
Yeah, I mean, I think at this point, I don't know. I don't want to say that it's a draft made to boggle your mind and made to make you think, and maybe it's an art. Maybe it's a he's trying to make a statement.
If he wins a single one of the scenarios,
I mean, he could. Like I said, maybe it's gonna surprise us. I don't know, but like I said, for round 6, based on what you already have on your team, I don't think that's something you can afford to do.
All right, we're gonna start off with the easy one. Who do you think had the worst day 3?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I think I would have to give it to Luis again, unfortunately, but.
Booster Gold and Valeria Richards.
Yeah, it's not great.
And who do you think had the best draft of day 3?
I think of day 3 again. You have to factor a little bit into what you already have on the board and for your team, but I think Andrew again had a really solid round. It seems like he knows exactly what he wants. He has a lot of people that are meshing well together. Seems like he has a good game plan for this, so I got to give him number 1. Kind of running away with it right now.
Andrew, I think, once again, won day 3. Beta Ray Bill and Forge, I think that's an excellent combination. You can't find too much of a fault with that. Maybe you go, well, I wish I had Thor instead of Beta Ray Bill, but Thor was already off the board, and not bad for a good replacement for that character.
Yeah.
So, again, I think Andrew's putting together some excellent choices. We thank you for watching day 3. Hopefully you're enjoying the draft analysis. Hopefully you're enjoying the draft. We have 16 more picks to go. Who knows who Luis is going to pick? Maybe, I don't know. I don't even know who's even worse than what he's already chosen.
Yeah.
But
It's hard to even make a joke at this point.
So hopefully you join us for day 4 when we go over our final draft picks. Thank you for watching.